Really, Folsom? Really? Could you have put your barcode sticker in a more horrible place? Seriously. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Celia Johnson is gorgeous, and you had to put it right over her friggin' face. You couldn't have put it down here, or on the friggin' back of the DVD. Oh no, right over her. Or just put it over Trevor Johnson. I mean, Trevor Howard. We already saw him in The Third Man. Hi, I'm Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Viewer Guide. This is 76, David Lean's Brief Encounter, written by Noel Coward. This seems important to mention because his name's all over the place, as well as David Lean. No, oh, it is mentioned on the back. From Noel Coward's play Still Life. Well, there you go. Here's our third David Lean story, after Great Expectations and Oliver Twist. And once again, David Lean knocks it out the park. Man, it's a doozy. It's a pretty simple plot. Basically, it's about this housewife who meets a guy and has an affair with him, and it's at the beginning we find the housewife whose name is Laura, and Laura is with her talkative friend Dolly and the man who she had an affair with, but we don't know that yet, and his name is Alec, and they're meeting together at this train station. And they say goodbye, but we don't know it's for the last time until later. I'm just full of spoilers today. Anyway, so we watch them go. She runs out, and Dolly kind of has a conversation with, I think, the coffee woman who's supposed to be the comic relief of the film, even though she's not that crazy funny. And so she comes back, and on the whole train, we hear Laura's like inner thoughts, and she just wants Dolly to stop talking because she's just yakking, because we know something is troubling Laura, And so Laura gets home. She meets with her husband, and she says goodnight to her children. She sits down and just looks at him, and and the whole story is told in like a flashback, all sit like with her sitting there just in silence, and like not saying a word to him, and just basically just telling us the story of what was troubling her. A week before the day they got back together, or Laura and her husband were met again, or however you want to put it, she came back home. How about that? A week before Laura came back home, she was at the train station. She gets this piece of grit in her eye, and this kind man named Alec wipes it out of her eye, and they strike a conversation, and a small conversation, and they part ways. Later on, they meet again outside, like a chemist or something like that, and then they meet in a restaurant, and they decide to have dinner together, just to be kind. And Alec invites her to the movies and says, "You want to go to the movies?" So they go to the movies together, and slowly but surely, though, they realize that they're kind of falling for each other. And Alec, admits it first, but then Laura finally falls for him, and they just have this affair. They just go out together, they spend all their time together. And then their friends kind of find out, and so they have to like lie. And at one point, she ends up meeting him at his apartment, but she's rushed out by this because she thinks it's like his wife or something like that, because they're both happily married, but it's just a doctor friend of his, and so she ends up walking the streets like not knowing what to do, and she's just in the rain at that. So when they do meet up again, Laura just kind of says, we can't do this, and then she just kind of breaks down, and Alex still loves her, but he kind of understands too, and all he asks her is that she meet him one last time outside the hospital, and they spend a few more, I guess a few hours together, until we're finally brought back to the present time, or where we came in the beginning of the story, with Molly and Molly at the train station and all that. But this time we get to see what happened when Laura ran out of the coffee shop, because we see her run toward the track as she stops, and in typical David Lean direction, just like that one shot of like those shots from Oliver, with Oliver running through the streets in Oliver Twist, we get that nice little like trippy direction, because most of it's very straightforward, just straightforward, just shot, shot, shot. Then we get that little shot where she runs to the platform, and the camera kind of tilts just a little bit as she's just looking outward, and you see the lights flash on her, and it's kind of like and it gives you like this moment where it's like, oh, was she gonna jump onto the thinkers onto the tracks, because at one point she did say she wanted to die because she was just full of guilt. And the other one is just or like, was she trying to meet Alec, or did she just want to see the train, or is this? So a lot of unanswered questions, but in the end she comes back to her husband, of course. And anyway, we're brought back to the moment where she's sitting in the chair just thinking about everything, and this whole inner dialogue is what she's wanted to confess to him, but of course he knows nothing. But in the end, he ends up saying that he ends up thanking her for coming back to him, as if he's guessed this whole story after all. Which, if that's the case, then that's a piece of brilliant writing. Kudos to Noel Coward. Even though, actually, no, I looked up the Wikipedia article, and apparently that last scene isn't in the movie. I mean, isn't in the original play. Which, I guess, if David Lean had contributed that, then hey, kudos to David Lean for being awesome. And yeah, that's all I got. I mean, David Lean knocked it out of the park once again. Definitely a director I hope I get to see more of in the Criterion Collection. That being said, I'm giving this a B- because, and this is going to sound stupid, but me and music are like this. The most, if not all, the entire score is Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2, I think. And I'm not a big Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto fan, so to constantly hear that in the background, just kind of just a little boring, a little sad, and just it contributed to the mood of the movie, but it was just kind of tiring after a while. It was like, especially considering I knew the piece and I knew that I didn't like it very much, and so having to hear it in the context of the movie was just like, oh God. So yeah, I mean, it's a great story, great acting. Celia Johnson and Trevor Howard are wonderful actors, and they played the roles of Laura and Alec perfectly. But it's just that it's the score. It's the score. That's why I give it a B+. Yeah, it's nothing against David Lean or Noel Coward or story. It's just that score, sadly. Blame Rachmaninoff. And there you go. All right, supplements. Trailer and restoration demonstration. Which is weird. When I'm looking at it, it's like there's scenes in the movie where, like, I was looking as I was watching the film. There's the scene where Laura ascends the staircase to Alec's apartment. I was just looking at the picture, and I was just looking at the back of the DVD, and it said restoration demonstration. I was like, okay, I gotta take a look at that when the movie's over. But I was looking at the picture, and I was noticing that there were still a lot of like white spots and like little patches and stuff, and I was wondering like I thought Criterion took care of a lot of that stuff, and like I wonder if sometimes they leave that stuff in to make the film look more like fancy, like as if because it's an older film, it's supposed to have that, unpolished, touch, a bit tarnished. It's supposed to look a little tarnished. Anyway, no, it's kind of interesting. And trailer's awesome, of course. And that's it. Yeah, B+. David Lean, Brief Encounter. Check this one out. Pretty good. All right, knocking them out of the park. All right, well, that's it from me. Tomorrow, Roger Vadims and God Created Woman. I'm hoping that by tomorrow I'll have the full disc, full case version from Folsom, and hopefully they'll put the sticker in the right place. If not, then we'll just work with this. This is better than nothing. Anyway, and yep, that's it. And then that's number 77, God Created Woman. 78, Bank Dick, and 79, W.C. Fields' 6 short films. And 80 Element of Crime are all in transit. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get them. If I don't get them by tomorrow, then I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that I get at least one of them by Saturday. Otherwise, then you won't see me till probably Tuesday. Tuesday will be when I'll probably do the bank dick on Tuesday. I'll hopefully have them by Tuesday. Yeah, and that's all I got for you. So there's a chance. So basically, yeah, there's a chance that tomorrow may be the last Criterion collection we do until Tuesday. But fingers crossed. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for Roger Vadim's And God Created Woman, of which I have absolutely no idea what this movie's about. God, I hope it's good. Hope it's interesting. Hope it's not a snooze fest. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and as always, the moral of the story is if you meet a beautiful guy or a beautiful girl and you fall in love with them, make sure you're not married, and then it won't be so freaky. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for God Created Woman. And until then, goodbye.